See, the moment you get in this AZ-1, you totally forget that it's just unbearably uncomfortable for a tall guy. I mean, you can look at my head and see that it's up against the glass, but you know what? I don't care. This thing is just so much fun. So technically, it is an Autozam AZ-1. Autozam being a subsidiary brand of Mazda. But it was actually produced by Suzuki and also sold as a Suzuki Kara. It hit the market in September of 1992 as a response to both the Suzuki Cappuccino and also the Honda Beat, which actually created the K-car sports supercar category. So was it successful? Not really. They only sold 4,392 AZ-1s and 531 Suzuki Karas, which are exactly the same thing with just a Suzuki badge. Let's talk power, because this is a fun part. This has the Suzuki-built, factory turbocharged and intercooled 657cc 12-valve dual overhead cam 3. It makes 64 horsepower and 63 foot-pounds of torque, just like the Honda Beat. But let's face it, in the Cappuccino and in the AZ-1, this is actually rear wheel horsepower instead of the naturally aspirated Beat's flywheel horsepower. So which is faster, the Cappuccino or the AZ-1? Well, it has something to do with the flow of the exhaust. You see, this thing redlines at 9,000 RPMs. And once you get over 5,500, it just flies. But in the mid-engine configuration, the exhaust manifold has to take a tight bend before going out the back. So that restricts it at very high RPMs, just a little. So the Cappuccino, which has a little bit straighter exhaust, it actually wins a little in the real mid to high RPM output. Still, this thing has good power, great power to weight ratio, and it feels so fast. Oh yeah. All right, here we go, 0 to 60 test. It's not blazingly fast, but you can see you bog down at the very beginning, and unless you want to burn out a clutch that's about the size of this, you're not going to launch it much harder. But that's pretty impressive for 660 cc's. You don't buy an AZ-1 because you want to win drag races. You buy it because you want to look cool, feel cool, and you want handling. This thing was originally marketed with handling in mind. It has a steel monocoque skeleton attached to its composite body. There are struts at each of the four corners. You've got manual disc brakes, performance shocks, and I tell you, this thing just goes around corners like it's on rails. But you need to get it right. Remember, this is 56% rear weight balance and 44 up front. So if you're uninitiated and you lift off the throttle, it'll come around on you. But that being said, if you know what you're doing, this 2.2 turns lock to lock steering, oh my God, it's a little darty at speed, But when you're doing this, it's perfect. This road is like perfect for this car, and this car is just absolutely perfect for this road. I can't think of anything I'd rather be driving for that mid-speed country road. You see a yellow sign that tells you to slow down and you just want to plant your foot in and keep going. It's awesome. Is it better than the cappuccino? On paper, no. But they both have the same feel of, if you know what you're doing, you're just simply gonna have fun for days. I tell you, whoever designed the interior ergonomics of the Autozam AZ-1 had to be nothing short of a sadist. Yeah, gull wings are cool, and they have been since the Mercedes 300 SL gull wing. But the same rules apply. It makes getting out and getting in really exhausting. But as the most coveted of the ABC K supercars, this is the one everybody wants. Why? Well, it's mid-engine, it's got these gull wings, it's fast and it's gorgeous, and it is so fun to drive. It really makes it worth it to take the energy and crawl right back in here. Let's talk about ergonomics in depth a little bit more, because although I love to joke about it, it's really not that bad. So first and foremost, this is as far back as the seat goes, and it will come forward about 4 or 5 inches and put you closer to the steering wheel, but you don't need that. There is no back rake adjustment. This is a fixed bucket. Passenger side, well, that's bolted right to the floor. So what you see is what you get. If it weren't for this aftermarket Sparco steering wheel, we'd be in a world of hurt, because the original Autozam OEM one is about this big, and that would mean my knee would be over here, over the gear shift. But once you get settled in, once you get the feel, it's not too bad. The seats are actually supportive, both laterally and give enough back support. And it's not that loud in here for a plastic composite body car. Corvettes are infinitely louder. It's easy to shift. The clutch has a pretty tough spring in it, but it's fairly easy to modulate once you get the feel of it. There's a stereo in here, and these are some popular aftermarket speakers which do kind of get in the way as they are right up against my shin. But the most important thing is this has got air conditioning, and it's got really good air conditioning. It's a hot day out today, and I'm staying totally cool. Oh, don't get me wrong. As fun as this is, you'd never want to make one of these things your daily driver. In terms of overall practicality, it ranks pretty low. I mean, not like Lamborghini Countach low, but let's put it this way. There's some room behind the seats for some stuff. There's a little bit of room in the front, but not much. I mean, we're talking about maybe an overnight bag. But day to day, getting in and out of this thing multiple times, that would get pretty old. Okay, I know what you're gonna ask. Of the ABC supercars, which is the best? Well, that's really a matter of opinion, and it's based on your priorities. So let's talk about the first to market, the Honda Beat. They're the most of them out there, so you have the best chance of finding a really good one. It's got true Italian sports car DNA, because it was designed by Pininfarina, but it's the slowest of the three. Then you've got the Cappuccino. The Cappuccino, well, that is a great miniature take on the classic front engine, rear wheel drive roadster. But it's also pretty unique in the sense that it's the only car in history that gives the ability to have a full hardtop T-top, target top, and full roadster. And it's got a glass rear window with defroster, and it's got AC, and it's great. And though it does look a little bit anonymous, it looks like a miniature Miata, driving dynamics wise, it is on paper the best. But the AZ-1 has that X factor. First of all, you roll up in this car, and even before you put the gull-wing doors, people are oohing and eyeing. Then you put up the gull-wing doors, and people fall out of their seats. But as we know from other cars with funky doors, if it can't deliver when you're inside, all that design is for naught. And in this case, oh boy, not only does it deliver, it delivers in a way that is so much fun. You have to be heartless not to enjoy every moment of spirited driving in this thing. Look, it may not be the fastest on paper. It may not pull the most G's on paper. It might not be the most practical or ergonomically sound car. But there's a reason these are the most valuable. Because they're just awesome. I love it. Bruce shins and all. I love this.